Hey guys, this is Aaron with Get Your Geek On Radio. I'm here with Geoff Ramsey, one of the co-founders of Rooster Teeth. And I also believe you had a birthday a couple weeks ago, so happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, on June 19th, I turned 21.
We'll say 21, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
21. And you know what, Keanu Reeves, you look breathtaking still.
Ah.
His words.
Thank you very much.
I just want to ask you a couple questions about, what you've been doing right now. I know you just actually had the Achievement Hunter panel downstairs for a little bit. And
Yes, sir.
I know at the beginning of each video, you actually talk about how you had an experience when you were younger. I was wondering if you would elaborate on that, or maybe say why you thought it was a paranormal kind of thing.
Well, I thought it was a paranormal experience because I met a ghost, and it scared the hell out of me. When I want to say I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. I was living in Jacksonville, Florida, and I won't draw this out, but essentially I went to the movies with my parents. I came home. The way the house worked is you go through the front door and there's like a wall, and then the house splits and goes to the left are bedrooms, to the right is the kitchen, and beyond that wall are 2 open areas that then go down into a living room.
Okay.
My parents went off to the kitchen. I was going to go to my bedroom, and as I turned left, I looked over and there was a woman in the little down area, the living room area, sitting on the side of a chair, and I thought it was odd that there would be a strange lady in our house. But I was also a kid, and she seemed like she belonged there, so I just went up to her and I said, "Hi, if you're looking for my parents, are you looking for my parents?" And she just stared at me very menacingly, and she was dressed in like traditional Indian garb. I recognize now as like a sarap, and at the time I don't think I had ever seen somebody dressed like that, so I was really confused as to the way she looked. I didn't understand it, and she just was like staring at me intently. And I walked into the room and I said, "Hi, my parents are just right over there. Wait a minute, why are you in the house?" And she just kept looking at me in this like really scary, menacingly way, and I kind of went white, got very cold, very terrified, ran into the kitchen to get my mom, and my stepdad came back and she was gone.
Oh, wow.
I never saw her again. I didn't know what to make of it, but it stuck with me my entire life. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
It sounds like it. I mean, that's a lot of detail to remember from
back
then.
Ironically, my mother has no memory of it, so.
Oh, wow.
But I know I didn't make it up.
As long as you know.
Yeah.
You were there, so you should remember it.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, your Rooster Teeth has gotten so huge over the last about 15 plus years now.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't get as big as it is now, where do you think you would be today?
Oh, gosh. Where would I be? I think Bernie one time told me, we were shooting the shit late one night making Red vs. Blue, and he said, if Red vs. Blue never happened, I think he was like, I think he was just tired and kind of romanticizing what life would be like if we weren't up till 4 a.m. making episodes of Red vs. Blue. And we were talking about it, and he said, I feel like if Red vs. Blue never happened, you and I would be 2 grizzled, old, beat down comedians working some small comedy club every night of the week who both just didn't quite make it, but did well enough to pay the bills, and we would just be getting older and more beat down and more disgruntled, trying to tell jokes in the same comedy club for the rest of our lives. And I feel like that's pretty apropos. Yeah.
At least you would still be in comedy, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing. So again, you've been around for a long time. So, what aspects of Rooster Teeth have aligned with like the original dream you had? Do you feel like maybe someone's gone somewhere you didn't want it to, or do you feel like it's exactly where you thought it would be?
I used to always make the joke that if anything, I'm disappointed. Like, I think we could have done better. We should be further along.
We only have this many million of people.
But the real truth is that we set out to make 6 episodes of a cartoon, and we really didn't have any plans beyond that. And it hit that cultural zeitgeist. It was right place, right time, and people supported it, and it spread like wildfire through word of mouth. I mean, this is before YouTube and Facebook at this point. So it was sites like Slashdot and Penny Arcade, and Fark.com who were sharing us, and basically since that initial moment around episode 3 of Red vs. Blue, where it kind of took off like wildfire, we've just been holding on for dear life. And I wish I could say that I had the forethought to plan the next 16 years out, and that I saw myself making a career, like from making a cartoon in Red vs. Blue in the game of Halo to ghost hunting in Australia.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that I drew the line out and saw that, but I absolutely did not. It's been way more of a reactionary company than that, I think.
That's great. That's awesome. So, kind of speaking on that too, what made you all think of Griff? Like, did you already see that character and you're like, you know what, that's who I'm going to be? Or did Bernie just say, hey, this was this one guy?
I wish I could take credit for any of that. Bernie wrote Red vs. Blue. He created those characters. And I think that the one thing I will say is I think that our personalities over time have sort of bled into the characters a little bit. And that's why Griff is lazy and just wants to eat junk food and is disaffected and super sarcastic. I'd like to think that I added a little bit to that, but I certainly can't take credit for the character.
Well, that's cool though. I mean, at least you got to add your personality to it though. That's awesome.
I mean, I approached it with the work ethic that I have, and I think it bled through. So,
Oreos.
Yeah, Oreos and what else does he eat? That's about it. Oreos. It was he's on the vowel diet and only eats things that start with vowels like
oh my gosh,
asparagus
I forgot about
and Oreos and
I think it was just Oreos at one point though he said or something. And so being on Achievement Hunter, I know you founded that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel there's like an unsung hero, like someone that doesn't get enough credit for doing all the stuff they do there?
At Rooster Teeth or at Achievement Hunter?
At Achievement Hunter.
Oh, it's definitely me.
Definitely you?
Yeah, I give way too much credit to the other guys. I don't deserve it. No. We have an entire... I mean, everybody in Achievement Hunter literally busts their ass every single day. It's a very high volume, high intensity, high expectation work environment, and people don't last long if they're not able to keep up with that. Right. And so everybody is all hands on deck at all times. But I will say that entire support room where Ashley and Jerem and Jacob and all those guys and girls work, I think those people have to be the unsung heroes because they keep us on track. People like Sarah keep the lights on. They keep us moving. They make sure that we stay on task and on schedule. And then, the editors like Kent and Larry and Jacob and Alec and all of them, they make stuff that they make the stuff we do a lot funnier than it has any right to be.
Okay.
I'll say that.
That's awesome. I mean, it must be amazing having that support staff to back you guys
It
up.
is. It 100% is. And it's amazing to film something that's okay or mediocre, and then you turn around and you watch it 2 weeks later after their edits, and you go, wow, they polished that turd. They really did. Wow. They made it way funnier than it has any right to be.
And kind of bouncing off of that, how long does it roughly take you guys? Like, I know you film one day, they have to go edit it. How long does that process take, do you think?
That's probably a better question for Trevor at this point. He runs Achievement Hunter day to day. He's the supervising producer of it, but it depends on how difficult the video is. No two videos are the same, honestly. If it's a single screen, like Ultimate Chicken Horse, or like a General Jousting or a Mario Kart, it can be filmed and edited in the same day.
Okay.
If it's a 6 or 8 person Minecraft or GTA, it can take 3-4 days. It really just depends on how long the video is, how complex it is, how much of a narrative there is to try to tie together.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And going off that as well, I know you're doing Rainbow Six Siege right now, and you guys I think are playing later today or
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. What game is it that you like playing that you're like, yeah, I'm glad we're going to film this one today?
I love playing Siege. I do. I actually, as much as we grouse about it from time to time, I still really enjoy playing Minecraft. I have to be in the right headspace to want to do it. But I love Minecraft. I love GTA. To this day, I love GTA. Unfortunately, there are a lot of games that we really like to play that just don't, for whatever reason, don't catch on. Like, we all really enjoyed Apex. I had a blast playing Apex, and I would go home every night and play it after work, but that's one that the audience just didn't respond to. So sometimes the games that are the most fun to play aren't the ones that we get to play the most.
Right, since you have to go with what the audience.
You got to go with what the audience wants. Yeah.
Okay. I tried to think how to word this one too. I guess so. Like you said, you have all these people working and everything. Who's your favorite there? Like, I know it's like kind of picking like your favorite child, but who's your favorite person to work with there? When you're like, well, go into the office, you see Trevor, Michael. Who do you say would be like, I'm glad I'm going to work with him?
It is right to say that it's like trying to pick your favorite child because I love everybody for different reasons, and I go through phases where I'm really into one, like to performing with one person over the other. Obviously, I have a tremendous amount of chemistry, I think, with Gavin, and we have a great relationship, and I delight at any opportunity to film with him, which the same could be said for most of those guys. But right now, I'm really into Matt Bragg.
Really?
I
Okay.
really dig everything that he's doing. I think he's really kind of comedically hit his stride, and it's a lot of fun to work with him or around him and just kind of watch him work. So I'll say Matt Bragg right now.
Cool. And so, is there any project coming up that are coming out that you're excited to, the audience is going to get to see right now, or is it just Achievement Hunter right now, or what's where are you at?
Well, we always have a few things in the hopper. We try not to announce stuff too early because as say if I pitch 10 shows or Achievement Hunter pitches 10 shows and we greenlight 10 shows, it's still possible only 4 or 5 of them will come out, depending on the show's not working or going over budget, being too expensive, not being able to realize and make the show in the way that we want to make it, so we decide to hold off and do it later. Hardcore Tabletop is a great example of that. I wanted to make that for about 3 years before we finally did make it, and if I'd had my diddlers, we would have made it 3 years before and would have made a worse version of it. So it was actually, the show was much improved by taking the time to make it right. So I'd be a bit remiss to announce any of those things that we have in the works too early. But I will say there's one that is kind of our version of a travel show that's going to be coming out in the fall winter this year, and it's something that Trevor and I created together, and I'm like 90% sure that's actually going to come out. So I'll just say that we have a travel show coming out that'll be different than other travel shows, and I think you guys will like it.
That would be awesome. Appreciate you telling us that.
Sure.
Speaking on that travel part, I know you've gone to Australia, California. Where's like your favorite place to go to?
In the world just on vacation?
Just on vacation. Like if you want, like I want to go chill. Take your child.
Oh gosh, my favorite place in the world is probably Budapest, Hungary.
Budapest, Hungary?
Yeah, we went there years ago to work with a video game company and fell in love with the city, made some tremendous friends, and I've only been back 2 or 3 times, but any opportunity I have to go to Budapest, it's just like it is the coolest, most modern, yet steeped in culture and interesting and affordable city that I've ever been.
Awesome.
It's the one place I would consider leaving Austin for.
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. Never thought of some, like I would never have picked that place, honestly.
I'll be honest with you, I was fairly ignorant of Hungary before I went, and I was a little nervous to go. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be like Eastern Bloc, like I grew up in the Cold War, so I didn't know if it was going to be like stories you hear about like Eastern Bloc Germany or those Eastern Bloc countries when I was a kid, and couldn't have been more unfounded, my nerves and my fear. It is the most welcoming, warm, kind, lovely place, and just gorgeous.
That's so cool. The same way, I've never been out there, and I have no idea about the country, so I can feel you on that part. What about filming wise? Is there a place so far that you're like, yeah, I want to go back and film out there?
Not really. Any place that in terms of filming, most of the location stuff I do is related to Achievement Hunter, the ghost hunting stuff.
Right.
So anywhere I can go that has ghosts, I want to go and film, whether it be, BFE, East Texas, or whether it be West Wickham, England. It doesn't really matter. I just want to go where the ghosts are.
Just want to try to get that experience again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. So when you're looking at Achievement Hunter or just doing another Let's Play or anything, how do you try to figure out who's going to mesh well with who? Like, okay, well, I want Gavin for this or Michael for that. How do you figure that part out?
Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and there are no hard and fast rules to it, but it's just something you kind of feel your way through over time.
Okay.
And there definitely a lot of thought goes into it. People have different, obviously Michael and Gavin have a different dynamic than Michael and Ryan do, or Ryan and Jeremy have a certain dynamic, but then Ryan and Jack have a different dynamic, and it really, you just kind of take it on a case-by-case basis, and you see like what flavor makes the most sense for what content.
Okay, well, awesome. And I do have one last question, kind of like a little fun one. So I saw you used to bowl when you were younger.
I did, yeah.
Do you still bowl? Because I bowl, and if you still bowl, I kind of want to go, maybe bowl against you. Maybe.
I have a complicated history with bowling. I used to have a love-hate relationship with bowling. Now I have kind of a love-hate relationship with bowling. But I suffered an injury to my thumb, and because of it, I have some tendon damage, and I'd be scared if I were to bowl again that I might damage my thumb, which I need desperately to be mediocre at video games with.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I've hung up my bowling ball for good. Sorry to say.
No, but worries. Well, thank you again. Thank you, Get Your Geek On Radio, and thank you again, Jeff, for being out here.
Absolutely,
I really appreciate
thank you
it.
so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all have a great day.
Thanks.